guys, this should be a pretty entertaining one. This video is 10 deleted moments WWE doesn't want fans to see. It comes from the Watch WWE channel. I'm just curious what these are going to be. Probably a lot of stuff that we already know the story of, but it's fun to revisit them as wrestling fans. And the BDWJ Forever channel, we're not done with that by any means. I love his compilations. I just wanted to throw this one in here because it's been interesting me, but we'll definitely... that sucks. that just falls into the category. Sometimes shit happens. You just get out of sync a little bit. And you end up laying on the ropes looking...
WWE has gotten all the way up
like
to 7 hours total between Raw,
like a whale that needs to be pushed back into the ocean.
Basis. When you're making that much product, you are destined to screw up a good few times. And the company makes plenty of creative mistakes. Sometimes the wrestlers themselves are going to...
I think Linda sold that as absolute garbage on purpose just to make Vince's bad... lack of ability in taking the stunner not look as egregious. Maybe she was looking out for him. Although now we all know, I don't know that she'd look out for him.
WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. Answer in the comments down below, and stay tuned throughout the video to hear the answer. Number 10. Orton busts his arm.
Just one of the most when he was gifted pounding the mat,
all time. He is also known for those infamous initials. RKO. It's one of the greatest finishers genuinely in all of wrestling.
Couldn't agree with this guy more.
Easy comparisons to Diamond Dallas Page's Diamond Cutter. Orton's
I was just going to say, I can watch video clip compilations of RKOs out of nowhere endlessly. I never get tired of them.
Despite this, Randy feels it necessary
so
to
imaginative the way they put them together.
As possible before his first attempt at striking, literally slamming his arms to the mat multiple times in aggression.
Now, there's a McMahon that took it well.
I don't really know.
Way to go, Steph.
To be honest, but it does a very good job of hyping up the crowd. Unfortunately, it also does a good job leaving Orton at risk of self-injury, as repeatedly slamming your arm into anything will inevitably do some damage.
And the thing of it is, that can
injuring
I just feel for him because you're charged up, your adrenaline's flowing. You know, and you're just like, you're getting the crowd worked up. Easy to do.
End the night on a double count out, which was obviously not the intended. Cameraman can't catch.
Oh no!
Back and forth between which WrestleMania match was the greatest of all time.
Jimmy Snuka's son
versus The Undertaker, or Shawn Michaels.
I think we've all seen this, but just a little insight into it. And I apologize for forgetting his name, but Jimmy's son. I wrestled with him a couple times in tag matches with his dad when his dad used to make the indie circuit. Good guy. I always felt bad when I found out that was him.
The Undertaker.
I mean, I've been in the ring with him on a few occasions. Perfectly safe guy.
Sequel match had the proper placement on the
good wrestler. It's unfortunate to happen.
Many people believe the true king of pro wrestling to be their original WrestleMania clash in 2009, WrestleMania 25, and I'll give them this. It definitely
I like both. I like 26 even better, though.
This is a moonsault off the turnbuckle. The Phenom does the unthinkable and goes for a running leap over the top rope. A plancha very rarely seen from the near 7-footer. And instead of taking the move himself, Michaels pulls one of the cameramen in the way, former WWE star Deuce. And Deuce doesn't exactly catch the
this is, like I say, this is kind of pain when you know the guy and you feel for him. Completely.
Number 8, Angle nearly kills McMahon.
He just didn't get in position in time.
Vince apparently did nearly bring the
he was expecting Undertaker to get too much
from hell via
distance.
Wrestling around every 5 to 10 minutes.
We all seen this
in
one.
In the middle of the sky. Instead, I'm talking about Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon. King of the Ring.
That's a great story too, though, on the plane.
Surprisingly great match between the King of Technical Wrestling and the King of Technically Wrestling. Angle had an obvious advantage.
That's well put.
Kurt Angle, but
that was well said. I like that. Technical wrestling's that's the king of.
Thanks to that street fight stipulation,
Wrestling,
Shane had his
technically.
moments in the sun. Unfortunately for McMahon, the night's biggest moment wouldn't be in his favor as Kurt Angle would suplex Vince's son through a
That
pane
was
of
just
glass,
horrible.
except no,
I remember watching
it
that
was
live.
actually
I thought his neck was
plexiglass,
broke.
Far more difficult to
I
shatter. and
you
Shane
immediately
stepped
watched to see if
flying
he's moving
through
his
the glass,
limbs.
bounced off it and dropped a few feet below directly on his head.
That was
nearly
horrible.
murdering the McMahon.
The king of the ring set.
Wasn't there? You guys remember? You guys have way better memories than me because of this business. I have no memory.
Number 7.
Wasn't that the
Rock
wrong
doesn't win the Rumble. After the atrocity
panel
that was Vince McMahon
in that wall? It wasn't the
winning
breakaway stuff, right?
1999 Royal Rumble. The following year's Rumble.
You might have
had
said
to
it
have
as
a
I was
happy
babbling.
ending, and it sort of did, unless you're the Big Show. The Rock would go on to win said 2000 Royal Rumble after last eliminating Mr. Paul White. But if you had a good enough camera shot, which Big Show just happened to have,
Oh, that one,
you'd
yeah.
have known that Dwayne's feet both actually hit
Hit
the
the
floor
floor.
before the Big
I'd forgotten
Show.
about that
That's-
one.
That's right. The Big Show ended up getting totally cheated out of a big victory and getting into the main event of... Well, he was actually in the main event of that year's WrestleMania. Huh. But still, justice for Big Show. I would go out of my way
I'd forgotten
from
about
here
that
on
one.
out to support anything that the Big Show does, and oh, never mind.
That kind of stuff can go wrong so easily when you're counting on timing like that.
I told you.
Number 6, Austin's early eliminations. In the 1997 Royal Rumble,
That was good.
Steve Austin was eliminated from the Rumble early, but due to a few distracted referees, he would find his way back into the ring unnoticed and tossed out Bret Hart to win
Guys, I
that year's
don't remember this one. I probably heard of it before, but again, the memory.
Wait a minute here.
That would be an instance of Austin being eliminated early on purpose. The year earlier at the 96 Rumble, Austin was fighting in the corner with Rikishi when, out of seemingly nowhere, the then ringmaster was thrown out of the match.
A lot of people here, man, they think that the British Bulldog is the unprecedented. Whoa!
Austin was actually meant to play an integral role later in the finish with Shawn
Wow.
Michaels, but according to the Rattlesnake himself, the oil on Rikishi's body was just too much, and he ended up slipping out. This would be an instance of Austin. being
Oh, I didn't know
eliminated
this
on
one.
accident.
And I believe the over-the-top goes spot 2 in history. What happened to the ringmaster? Not certain. Must have been eliminated. We missed it.
Trivia time, and the answer to who the first WWE
Wow,
SmackDown
that-
Women's
that's
Champion
interesting.
was. Drum roll, please. Becky Lynch. It's Becky the Man. On with the video. Number 5, the McMahon's call for change. This might not be a mistake in the conventional setting, and it was definitely a creative
What's
mistake
this?
if you want to look at it that way. But from just a general television watching audience's perspective,
I'm sure I saw this,
this was
but-
an objective plate full of lies. Back in 2018, after a meandering year of
This guy
boring
does a
storylines and non-worthwhile
really good
TV,
job
the
of
four
writing his
mighty
scripts.
McMahons, Vince, Steph, Shane, and Triple H. That's Triple H. Sorry, Mr. Game. Those 4 made their way to the ring to basically bury the company, saying the product had gone stale for too long and that things were about to change. No more of this bullshit. It's time to give the
There we
fans
go.
what they want.
Pop
They
the
then
girls out
called
there.
Baron
That's what
Corbin,
people want.
blamed the bad ratings on him, took absolutely zero responsibility for their own creative failures, and led WWE into 2019, a year that was arguably even worse than the drizzling that was 2018.
Maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe you deserve a chance.
Number 4, Spike Dudley.
All right, that one's
dies.
okay.
Spike Dudley truly might be one of
Oh,
the greatest
he
stuntmen in
used
all
to
of pro wrestling. Just like Mick
take
Foley,
some
Spike had to get
bumps
creative when it
that
came
were
to getting
just
himself over in the eyes
crazy.
of the audience due to his incredibly unique physique. And just like Mick Foley, Spike figured the best way to do that was by killing himself for
Yep.
customers on a
Hey,
weekly
you do what you
basis.
gotta do.
Spike has seriously had some of the most destructive-looking spots of all time done to him.
I love
One of the most
that.
cringe-inducing
That's cool, though.
scenes of
Scotty
the
Steiner
La
working with that.
Resistance of all people, the French tag
Working with
team
Spike's
got in a little
offense.
scuffle with the smallest Dudley, and with a table position on the outside of the ring, were set to send Spike flying straight through. Instead, the 2 men failed to throw Dudley far enough, and Spike ended up bashing
Oh,
his
I
head
did
against
see
the
that
table,
one,
with
yeah.
the rest of his body
Oh.
completely missing the mark and crumbling to
Well.
the ground below. This one is difficult to watch.
Yeah, it's actually sometimes it'd be easier for one guy to do it. They just never got any height under him. They just
Enzo concusses
spiked
himself.
him instead of threw him.
This one's
But
not
that,
to watch. I know. Enzo is a great talker, and he deserves.
Good
credit
thing
for
they
just how
have
good
mats
of a
on their
business mind he
ring
does seem to
nowadays.
have. But he's also
back in the day,
reportedly, like a
you didn't.
massive kid and
It
might
really
be
sucked.
a risk too. So, you know, there's
I saw this one,
Simon
too.
Gotch definitely can have a laugh at this one nowadays, as everyone and their grandma's dead dog has been recommended that video of him burying Enzo, a video where he also explains just what went down at Payback 2016 when Gotch goes to throw Enzo out of the ring, only for Enzo to fail a baseball slide under the bottom rope, instead smashing his head into the ropes and landing hard below, completely concussed.
As many of you I'm sure can understand, I am also no Enzo fan, but I don't like seeing that happen to anybody.
Number 2,
that
Kozlov tried
that was
to get
bad
him
enough.
out of
It
the
could have been
ring.
worse.
Kayfabe is dead, folks, and Vladimir
could've-
here killed it.
that could be a
out of the bag on pro wrestling
leaving a wheelchair
news
injury.
for quite some time now. We all still like trying to suspend the disbelief and, you know, sit down, be entertained for a little while. Moments like this, yeah, they kind of that up during a match against I think that's the Usos.
I don't know this one.
Jimmy's wife wasn't the only one to have a glow up. Vladimir charges down an Uso before getting tossed over the top rope. That's what should have happened, at least, and what would have happened.
I didn't see all that at the beginning. That wasn't just, I thought that was just somebody clotheslining him back over and you get out of sync. All he had to do was go over the ropes. He had pulled the ropes down for him.
And he
That's pretty bad.
Way too many seconds trying to get himself over that rope. And listen, I feel bad for any children.
I want to see that again. Okay, now I saw it all.
Instead, at least, and what would have happened had any competent wrestler been inside of that ring. Instead,
What the hell was he
Vladimir
doing?
Somehow managed to tuck his head and get it stuck underneath.
Yeah,
the top rope,
you got somebody
and he
pull.
spends
It's easy enough to go over the
way
top
too
rope
many
anyway.
seconds
Even
trying to get
my
himself
fat
over
ass
that
used to
rope.
do that all the time. Top rope
Listen,
all the
I
way to
feel
the
bad
floor.
for any children who still believed in wrestling.
But you also got a guy
watching
pulling
this
it down
because
for you.
What does this even look like to them?
That's pretty bad. That's just
And
being
number 1,
too green to be
Linda
in the ring.
McMahon takes the stunner. The Stone Cold Stunner is arguably in the top 5 greatest finishers in all of pro
Sure.
wrestling. So good that when it hits against a specific
But like I say, I
person,
think Linda
you
was
can
just trying to make
actually see
Vince not
exactly
look
what kind
quite.
of
There you
stuff
go.
they're gonna have
Vince
before
not
it
look
happens.
quite as
Just
bad
like Randy
because
Orton's
hers was worse than
celebration
Vince's.
music. The Rock's fish flopping after a stunner is an iconic
Oh,
part
that's
of
awesome.
wrestling history. Linda McMahon, on the other hand, she's not the best in the world. Linda has taken a single Stone
So
Cold
far,
Stunner
of all
across
the
her
ones I've
WWE
seen,
tenure in
And trying to remember of the
goddamn,
McMahons,
there's a reason
Stephanie
they only
took the
take
best
one.
bump. Oh, and he put the upcoming videos over it. We've all seen it though.
And those are 10 moments the WWE
Actually,
didn't want you to see. What are your thoughts on
If you think about it, what Linda did there was the walk away, like Samoa Joe. She saw what Stone Cold was going to do, so she just left.